Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How is everyone today? I hope that you are well. Welcome to our OK English breakfast this Monday morning. I hope you are ready to learn a little bit. Good morning, Cornelia and Andrew. Good morning to you. How are you? How is everyone? I hope that you are well, and welcome Instagram, welcome Facebook, YouTube, and other channels. I am so happy that I'm here today. I haven't been here for another 2 weeks. I know that we have a lot of breaks recently. I am very sorry about that. Good morning, Monica. Good morning. Happy to have you here. Because from time to time nowadays I have some holidays, then I have some doctor's appointments, and sometimes I cannot do the live here, and I hope that you can forgive me. I think that for the next month we are going to have our meetings every Monday as planned, and I hope that nothing is going to spoil that. Good morning, Pav. How's it going? It's going great. It's going amazing. Thank you very much. How was your weekend, guys? What did you do? Let me know in the comments. I was in Belgrade. I was in Serbia. Yes, I went last week for a couple of days. Here in Lisbon, where I live, it's not very easy and cheap to travel from here to some of the countries. So recently one of the airlines released tickets. So I checked the prices, it was quite cheap. So my husband and I bought the tickets and we went to Belgrade for a couple of days and came back on Saturday evening. It was very good. Belgrade is not it's not the most interesting city, I would say, not much to do there, but it's a very nice, I think it's a very pleasant, nice city with lots of restaurants, bars, lots of really nice bars, lots of nice places to go to. I was actually really glad to see that and to spend some time in a different city. I think it's quite nice from time to time when you've been stuck in one place and in one region, more like it, and then you go and see something completely different. I recommend Belgrade. I think it's a nice city. If you've never been, go and check it out. Maybe, as I said, maybe not the most interesting, but it's a pleasant city, so it's nice. So, and yesterday I spent the whole day at home and I went to see the Barbie movie, which was very fun. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a fun movie to watch. Maybe again nothing special, but it's fun. It's funny. It's it's you have fun during it. It's not nothing ambitious, I would say. So let me say good morning to Marzena and Ivona and Joanna. Good morning. And Monica says that I've been forgiven. Thank you very much, Monica. I am glad to hear that you don't really, you are not offended by me not being here. I wanted to do the live last week, but unfortunately that was not really possible. I was rushing to catch the transportation to Lisbon because I had to go to Lisbon on Monday morning, so not very convenient for me to do it. So I decided not to do it. But I'm here today, so it's all good. It's all good. So today we are going to talk about Barbies. Yeah, everyone talks about Barbies right now. I think we are going to talk about it too, a little bit, but not about the movie, but about a court case. A court case which was quite famous at its time and I think it's good to learn some new vocabulary. Marzena says, I am all the time on the road. It's true, I have been traveling quite a bit recently, which is great, I love traveling. But now I am ready to stay at home for 2 months. In October I'm going away again, but August and September I think I'm going to stay mostly at home. Maybe I'll go and visit my sister, so I am not doing much this time. Okay, so what are we doing today, everyone? So today, as I said, we are going to talk about Barbie dolls. Moi drodzy, dzisiaj sobie porozmawiamy o Barbie. Wszyscy oczywiście rozmawiają o Barbie, ale nie będziemy rozmawiać generalnie ani o filmie, troszeczkę o lalkach, o zabawkach, ale będziemy głównie rozmawiać o sprawie sądowej pomiędzy 2 firmami i o tak zwanych copyright claims. Temat dosyć interesujący. W ogóle, jeżeli się interesujecie prawem lub interesują Was takie rzeczy jak właśnie prawa do różnych produkcji czy do różnych rzeczy, no to warto sprawdzić sobie firmę Mattel, która produkuje Barbie, bo oni ciągle się sądzą ze wszystkimi i mają bardzo ciekawą historię. Założycielka Barbie ma też bardzo ciekawą historię z punktu widzenia osobistego i też biznesowego. Jeżeli lubicie jakieś tam tego typu rzeczy, to warto sobie sprawdzić, a my będziemy rozmawiać tylko o jednej sprawie, która miała miejsce jakiś czas temu pomiędzy firmą Mattel a firmą, chyba Bratz się nazywa ta firma, to jest niemiecka firma, która też produkuje albo produkowała lalki. O tym za chwilę porozmawiam sobie w języku angielskim. A my oczywiście chcemy sobie przypomnieć jeszcze parę rzeczy, więc tak, słuchajcie, jeżeli tutaj czasami nie możecie być lub chcecie sobie powtórzyć pewne lekcje, to jest podcast OK English, gdzie wrzucam wszystkie te nasze śniadania, gdzie się one pojawiają i można sobie po prostu wziąć słuchawki, czy tam gdzieś w ogródku, jak sobie robicie jakieś grządki, czy siedzicie gdzieś, czy jedziecie gdzieś, to sobie można powtórzyć. I to jest podcast Speak Up na wszystkich platformach podcastowych i tam możecie sobie też wysłuchać rzeczy, które się pojawiają czasami na YouTubie. Myślę, że warto, jeżeli lubicie sobie słuchać w języku angielskim. Dla uczniów moich dodatkowo jeszcze, jeżeli się uczycie z OK English, to mamy nowy system do bookowania i mamy nowy system do wykupywania lekcji, więc jeżeli nie dostaliście żadnej informacji o tym, wszystko wysyłałam w zeszłym tygodniu, ale może jeżeli chcecie wrócić do lekcji, czy chcecie wykupić nowy pakiet i linki, które wcześniej używaliśmy Wam nie działają, to zgłoście się do mnie, bo są nowe linki i nowy system do bookowania. I on jest naprawdę, jak już się ogarniemy ze wszystkimi błędami, które się tam pojawiają, czas od czasu, znaczy nie błędami, ale bardziej uczniowie czasami nie wiedzą, gdzie kliknąć, więc jak się uporamy z tym na samym początku, tak zwane teething problems, czyli takie bardzo początkowe problemy, to myślę, że będzie super się go używać, dlatego że on Wam pokazuje, ile lekcji Wam zostało. Możecie bookować lekcje z jakimkolwiek nauczycielem, nie musicie, jeżeli na przykład lubicie sobie nauczyciela zmieniać, to możecie sobie bookować te lekcje z każdym nauczycielem, który u nas uczy i który jest dostępny w Waszych godzinach, więc można i z Chase'em ze Stanów Zjednoczonych i można z osobami z Wielkiej Brytanii sobie bookować lekcje. Naprawdę z wieloma tymi, którzy są dostępni, można bookować. Każdą lekcję możecie mieć osobno. Notatki są dla Was trzymane centralnie, czyli można sobie normalnie z tego korzystać. Także dodatkowo taka opcja jest dla Was. No i jeszcze zapraszam Was na Instagrama okenglish.pl i na YouTube'a okenglish.pl. Na YouTubie zawsze dodajemy o trochę więcej niż na Instagramie na przykład i tam pojawiają się nowe nagrania. Raz w miesiącu jest dłuższe nagranie, tak zwana prawdziwa konwersacja, gdzie analizuję wszystkie, znaczy nie wszystkie, ale gdzie analizuję dialogi w języku angielskim, czyli wybieram sobie jakiś tam dialog, albo jest to dialog z wywiadu, który kiedyś zrobiłam w ramach OK English, ale też są wywiady z celebrytami, na przykład z internetu i tam je analizuję, więc można sobie zawsze obejrzeć. One się też pojawiają w podcaście. No i na koniec oczywiście zapraszam Was na zajęcia angielskiej konwersacji z native speakerem. Jak mówiłam, obecnie przy tym systemie, który mamy, możemy sobie zmieniać nauczyciela. Jeżeli nie chcecie, można zostać z jednym nauczycielem. Wszystko zależy od Was. Są nauczyciele z Wielkiej Brytanii, ze Stanów Zjednoczonych, z Południowej Afryki i oni uczą mówić w języku angielskim i obecnie mamy oczywiście raz w tygodniu zajęcia takie nasze standardowe, które pomogą Wam mówić w języku angielskim, przełamią barierę językową i pozwolą się otworzyć w konwersacji, jeżeli macie problemy z wypowiadaniem się w języku angielskim. No dobrze, to zaczynamy od pytania ogólnego, na które chciałabym, żebyście odpowiedzieli. So, let's start from a quick question. What toys did you play with as a child? Did you have a Barbie doll? Okay, so let me know in the comments, what toys did you play with as a child? And did you have a Barbie doll? I am waiting for you. Of course, here at OK English, we have a lot of people who are adults. Right? Not kids, because that would be two different answers. If you were kids, probably you would have had some toys that are more modern, but we have a lot of people who are in the 30s or 40s, and you've definitely played with different things than kids nowadays. So let me know. I am in my 40s, so I was brought up in the 80s and 90s, and we had a very limited choice of toys, of course. So there weren't that many toys to play with, but I liked to play with. I think I had a lot of cars for some reason, and I think because my dad never had sons, so he used to buy us cars, but I liked to play with them. And Lego, I had a lot of Legos, and all similar to Legos. We also played with that with my sister. She was a little bit more creative with that than me. And I had dolls as well when I was very young, I think maybe around 5 or 6 years old or maybe younger. So I had a few dolls. I had one of my favorite. I had a teddy bear. And later on, I didn't have a Barbie. My sister had a Barbie. I had a Cindy. And I really was very sad that I could not have a Barbie. And my sister had a Barbie, and we had to share it, which I hated, of course, because who would like to, share the Barbie with their sister? But we had a Barbie, and we had a Ken as well. We had a Ken doll, we had some clothes, and my sister made clothes for them. So, yeah, that's what I remember. And Monica says, I played with Barbie. I had 3 and 1 Ken. Oh, you lucky thing, Monica. You lucky thing. Marzena said, I played with usual dolls as a child many years ago. There weren't known Barbie dolls at all. Yes, especially in Poland. I don't know how old Barbie is, but I think Barbie is quite old. The doll was, I think, made first time in the 70s maybe, I can't remember, but in Poland we didn't have it, of course, right? Because Poland was very closed, and we only in the late 80s and then 90s we had the advertisement, and we could see the Barbie dolls on TV. Pav says that only cars was my toys in my childhood. Were my toys. Only cars were my toys in my childhood. Yes, of course, Pav, you probably as a boy you got all the cars. I played with dolls and teddy bears, Joanna says. Monica says, my dad was in the States in early 80s, so he brought me Barbies. My cousin made my dresses for them. Oh, how good! Amazing! I had a few friends whose dads were in the States, and they also had nice toys. I had one friend who had not only Barbie doll and not only a Ken, but also she had a whole house. Like, you know, those big pink house, and had a car for them and everything, and that was amazing. I really loved it, and I was so jealous that she had that, and yeah, I was a little bit jealous of that, and used to love to go and play with her in her house. Okay. Let me know what springs to mind when you hear the word doll. What springs to mind means what appears in your head. When you hear the word doll, what does it mean to you? What do you see when you hear the word? Okay, so Instagram, you can also take part in the discussion. I'm also looking at you on Facebook and YouTube. There are a few more people, so they are always active, but you can also answer in the comments. So what springs to mind when you hear the word doll? So I think when I hear the word doll, I see probably like a baby doll, not a Barbie. I don't see a Barbie, but more of a baby doll that you can, you know, change, and you can put in a prom, and you can just, you know, pretend that it's a real baby. That's what I see. Anna says, czy mogłabyś powtórzyć ten zwrot, jak się mówi, że dorastałam w latach 80. Of course. I grew up in the 80s, right? So when we see, good question, Anna. So when we say that we were small, we were children in some part of the time, so we say in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s, right? So I grew up. Grow up is an irregular verb. And it changes to grew in the past. So I grew up in the 80s. I grew up in the 90s. Monica says, I dreamed about pink house, but I had a wooden one, and I pretended that is that what I wanted. A wooden one was also quite good, I bet. Marzena says, something soft, nice, close to me. Yes, oh, of course. You're welcome, Anna, of course. Yes, something nice, soft, maybe a teddy bear also. It's not a doll. Teddy bear is a teddy bear, but also that could also spring to your mind when you hear the word doll. Okay, so now we are going to talk a little bit about Barbie dolls and copyright claims. Copyright claims. So let's have a look. So of course Instagram cannot see that, unfortunately, but on other channels you can see a slide. So we have two things, or maybe three even. So the first one is maybe let's have a look at copyrights. Okay, copyrights are the rights that you have to produce something or to have a service or content. So for example, if let's say I produce this, right? So I produce a lip gloss. This is a lip gloss for my lips. And if I produce this, And then I go to a special office and I say, this is mine, I produce this, and I do not want anyone to produce it. So then the copyrights for this is mine. Okay? So if for example Marzena or Anna wants to also produce a lip gloss that looks exactly the same, has the same name, they cannot do that because I have the copyrights. And they can come to me and say, can I buy the rights to produce this or to sell this, right? More like produce. Can I have the rights to produce this? And I can say yes or no, and I can sell the copyrights to you. And there are a lot of, when you have a look at businesses, there are a lot of copyright claims. Copyright claims. This means that someone says that the copyrights, the right to produce something and to have something, is there. And then they go to the court and they say that I want the rights to be mine. This person has no right to do it, or they copied me, for example, right? So a lot of times there are copyright claims when it comes to a product, a service, a concept, content, or it can also be a song or a poem or a book as well. Someone can say, I copied you, right? Or someone copied me. So this is a copyright. And then we have also competitors. Competitors are two people or two companies that produce or do the similar things, right? So if Marzena produces a lip gloss, right, something like that, and I produce something similar, then we are competitors. We compete with each other. And if, for example, my competitors of OK English are other English schools, these are my competitors. So we have competitors, and we will have a look. Barbie also has a competitor, also, although they are very, very protective of their product. So we have a lot of competitors on the market, but for example, we have Coke, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, or Samsung and iPhone, or Google and Firefox, for example. So I wonder if you have a favorite thing. So if you have Coca-Cola or Pepsi, I don't drink, personally, I don't drink them. If I have the two, I don't care most of the time. But there are people who care. So if you have Coca-Cola and Pepsi, which one would you choose? Or if you have Samsung or an iPhone, which one would you choose? Or if you have Google and Firefox, which one would you choose? So let me know in the comments, do you care about these things? Maybe you don't care. But sometimes, people are very... So for example, people who use iPhones or Apple products, they're very faithful to this company. So they say, I only use iPhone, I only use Apple, I don't use anything else. And even if someone proves to them, well, Samsung is almost the same, they still will use an iPhone. So I wonder if you have something similar, if you actually care about these things, and for example, if you have these things to choose. So Monica says Pepsi, Samsung and Firefox. Okay, so for me, I don't really care Coke or Pepsi. I don't really, for me it doesn't matter. iPhone, I would definitely use an iPhone, and Google. I only use Firefox very rarely, so I don't really use it very often. I have been faithful to Motorola phones for years. Wow. I remember Motorola's when they were very, very old. I don't know now if they... Actually, I only use Apple, so I haven't even looked at other phones. And I'm surprised that Motorola still exists. Okay, so we'll have a look at this court case between Mattel and Bratz. Okay, and these are two competitors. Well, they used to be competitors. I think Bratz doesn't really produce dolls anymore, but they had a copyright claim court case. And Anna says, I prefer iPhones are rather than Samsung. I don't know if it's grammatically correct. I prefer iPhones to Samsung. Right? To Samsung, not them. But it's almost correct, Anna. Good. Okay, so Mattel and Bratz. So basically, Bratz I think it's a German company, and they used to produce dolls that looked like adults. And they apparently, I read yesterday that they were the first company who produced dolls that had boobs and long legs and all that, and they were very similar to Barbie. But then Barbie was invented, and Mattel sued Bratz for copyright claim. So they said that Bratz copied them. And for me, it doesn't make much sense. I'm not really sure where in the time it was, but we'll have a look at the case and let's see who won. Okay, so Bratz was apparently first, but they couldn't prove it, I think, in this case. Okay. So I need to move you Instagram a little bit. Sorry. Hopefully it will be okay. Okay, so let's see at the text. So Mattel, the makers of the famous Barbie dolls, has won a 100 million court case against the Bratz doll company MGA. A jury in America settled the long-running dispute over who owned the intellectual rights of the Bratz brand. Mattel said the court decision was a big win for the company. However, the amount awarded in damages was a lot less than $1.8 billion Mattel's lawyers wanted. CEO Robert Eckert made a statement describing the importance of the jury's decision. Mattel has pursued this case first and foremost as a matter of principle. We have an obligation to defend ourselves against competitors who choose to engage in fraudulent activities against us, he said. The court still needs to decide if MGA can continue producing the Bratz dolls. Okay, so sorry, I got a little bit confused. So MGA is the company who was producing the dolls, and the dolls were called Bratz. And Barbie was a very similar doll here. So the two companies fighting over who was first and who has the right to have the doll or to produce the dolls. So Mattel, the makers of the famous Barbie dolls, has won a 100 million court case against the Bratz doll company MGA. So here we have an expression, 100 million court case against someone. Czyli mamy wyrażenie, jakaś sprawa przeciwko czemuś, tak? Słowo przeciwko mamy against. Zawsze, jeżeli stoimy naprzeciwko czegoś, walczymy przeciwko czemuś, to mamy against. Słowo against, czyli przeciwko. Nie naprzeciwko, nie in front of czy opposite raczej, tylko against, czyli przeciwko czemuś. Court case against, czyli mamy sprawę sądową przeciwko. Mattel, the makers of the famous Barbie dolls, has won a 100 million court case against the Bratz doll company MGA. A jury in America settled the long-running dispute over who owned the intellectual copyright of the Bratz brand. Okay, A jury to już na pewno wiemy, oglądamy dużo pewnie seriali i różnych innych, że jest to ława przysięgłych. A jury. In America settled the long-running dispute over. The long-running dispute to jest is the same as argument or a fight, right? Czyli dysputa, tak, można powiedzieć, po prostu kłótnia o coś, tak? Long running is something that takes a long time. It goes on and on and on for years. So long running dispute, this means that it was a fight that took a long time. Now dispute over, czyli kłótnia o coś. Bardzo często, jeżeli kłócimy się o coś, spieramy się o coś, to będziemy mieli słowo over w tym. Czyli będziemy mieli fight over, argument over, and so on and so on. Sometimes you can use also about, that's also good, but over is more common. So dispute over who owned the intellectual copyright of the Bratz brand. Intellectual copyright, czyli prawa intelektualne, tak? Prawa do tego, kto wymyślił w ogóle tą lalkę. Intellectual copyright of the brand, Bratz brand. A jury in America settled the long-running dispute over who owned the intellectual copyright of the Bratz brand. Mattel said the court decision was a big win for the company, so Mattel was very happy. However, the amount awarded in damages was a lot less than the $1.8 billion Mattel's lawyers wanted. However, the amount awarded in damages, the amount, czyli suma pieniędzy, the amount awarded in damages, czyli przyznana jak w odszkodowaniu. Damage to jest oczywiście coś, co zostało zniszczone, tak? Czyli jest to zniszczenie. Damage jest zniszczeniem. Natomiast jeżeli coś jest in damages, bardzo często w języku prawniczym oznacza, że jako odszkodowanie ktoś dostał, tak? Czyli ta suma, która została im przyznana, awarded, została przyznana im, awarded in damages, was a lot less than $1.8 billion Mattel's lawyers wanted. Czyli aczkolwiek ta przyznana suma była o wiele niższa niż 1,8 miliardów dolarów, Mattel, ich prawnicy chcieli na samym początku. CEO Robert Eckert made a statement describing the importance of the jury's decision. Mattel has pursued this case first and foremost as a matter of principle. We have an obligation to defend ourselves against competitors who choose to engage in fraudulent activities against us. Okay, so Robert Eckert is the CEO, so he is the big boss of the Mattel company, and he said, right, he made a statement, and he said, Mattel has pursued this case first and foremost as a matter of principle. Okay, czyli Mattel przede wszystkim, first and foremost, to jest przede wszystkim, takie wyrażenie, first and foremost, przede wszystkim dalej prowadziło tą sprawę po prostu ze względu, tylko i wyłącznie ze względu na to, żeby coś udowodnić. Tak? As a matter of principle, czyli jako ich takie coś, żeby chcieli udowodnić, że chcieli coś udowodnić. We have an obligation to defend ourselves against competitors who choose to engage in fraudulent activities against us. Czyli tutaj mamy to engage in fraudulent activities. Fraud to być może kiedyś tam słyszeliście, fraud oznacza oszustwo. Fraudulent activity to jest jakaś aktywność, która ma związek z oszustwem, albo jest oszustwem. To engage in to jest zaangażować się w, czyli mamy obowiązek. We have an obligation to defend ourselves, czyli żeby siebie bronić, against competitors, przeciwko naszej konkurencji, who choose to engage in fraudulent activities against us, którzy wybierają, którzy po prostu, tak, bo to jest ich wybór, tak, którzy wybierają, żeby się zaangażować w jakieś aktywności, które są oszustwem przeciwko nim. He said, the court still needs to decide if MGA can continue producing the Bratz dolls. So the court hasn't made a decision. So if the Bratz dolls will be produced. Okay. So one more time, all these expressions. Let's have a look. So 100 million court case against someone. Czyli mamy 100 million court case against. To jest 100 milionowa sprawa w sądzie przeciwko czemuś. A court case against, czyli sprawa sądowa przeciwko. A jury, mieliśmy już, że jest to ława przysięgłych. In America settled the long-running dispute over who owned the intellectual copyright of the Bratz brand. Czyli a jury, ława przysięgłych, uznała, w końcu doszła do porozumienia w sprawie the long-running dispute over, czyli bardzo długiej sprawie kłótni, być może o to, kto posiada prawa do produkcji, czy do Bratz brand, czyli do tej marki Bratz, tak? Who owned the intellectual copyright of the Bratz brand. Mattel said the court decision was a big win for the company. However, the amount awarded in damages was a lot less than the $1 billion Mattel's lawyers wanted. The amount awarded in damages oznacza, że została im przyznana jakaś suma pieniędzy jako odszkodowanie. CEO Robert Eckert made a statement describing the importance of the jury's decision. Mattel has pursued this case first and foremost as a matter of principle. Pursued this case first and foremost as a matter of principle. Czyli ten CEO, ten duży szef, wielki szef tam na górze, powiedział, że przede wszystkim, first and foremost, przede wszystkim Mattel tak, poszła do sądu z tym i przeprowadziła tą sprawę po prostu żeby coś udowodnić, że to jest ich prawo do produkcji tej lalki. We have an obligation to defend ourselves against competitors who choose to engage in fraudulent activities against us. Czyli oni uważają, że to jest ich obowiązek, żeby się bronić przed nieuczciwą konkurencją, czyli konkurencją, która wybiera, żeby się zaangażować w jakieś aktywności, które są nielegalne albo są oszustwem, związane z oszustwem, tak? The court still needs to decide if MGA can continue producing the Bratz dolls. Okay, I hope that you got something out of it and that you can remember what what the words mean and could understand the text a little bit with my explanation or without it. It depends on your level, of course. So let's have a look at the quiz. So I have the quiz for you. So the first one, this was a court case przeciwko Mattel. A, opposite, B, against, or C, among. What do you think? This was a court case. Word missing, Mattel. Opposite, against, among. Opposite, did I write it? Yes, I write it correctly. Okay, so which one is the one that suits? Monika, Paw, Agnieszka and Joanna say that it is B. It is B, against, of course, przeciwko czemuś, tak? Jeżeli występujemy przeciwko czemuś, jeżeli się opieramy czemuś, jeżeli, nie wiem, co jeszcze może być, ale właśnie w przypadku spraw sądowych bardzo często będziemy mieli przeciwko, czyli będziemy mieli właśnie to słowo against. Okay, next one. The dispute was something, 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 who had the rights to produce the dolls. The dispute was at, around, or over. The dispute was at someone, around someone, or over someone. The dispute was. So remember about the fight and dispute and an argument. What do we say? At, around, or over. Joanna, Marzena, Paw, Joanna, Monica. Good. Okay, so yes, some of you said A. It's not A, it's C. C is the correct answer. Dispute was over who had the right over something. Pamiętajcie, że jeżeli jest kłótnia o coś, może być about sometimes, okay? For example, the fight was about something. It could also be, but very often we say over, over, over. The dispute was over something. Okay, next one. The court awarded Mattel $80 million. Now, something's missing, damages. In damages, on damages, at damages. What do you think? The court awarded Mattel $80 million in, on, at damages. What do you think? If you don't know, guess. It's all right to guess. If you make a mistake, you also learn. So remember that. Okay, so Path says, yeah, okay. Who else? Is there anyone else who would like to try and guess what that is? Joanna. Yes, Path, Joanna. Monica says that it's on. So w odszkodowaniu mówimy po angielsku in damages. In damages. The court awarded Mattel $80 million in damages. To jest takie, to warto zapamiętać sobie to razem, że jeżeli jest odszkodowanie, to jest damages, ale może być, ale bardzo często używam tego w całym zdaniu, więc zawsze będzie z in. In damages. He awarded, well, może nie zawsze, bo można powiedzieć he got some $80 million. Tak? Ale jeżeli mówimy w ten sposób, w takim całym zdaniu, to będzie to z in. In damages. Okay? Next one. First and. I'd like to apologize to you for my behavior. First and of all. First and foremost. Or first and for the most. What does it mean? This expression means przede wszystkim, tak? Przede wszystkim chciałbym przeprosić. So, first and of all, foremost, for the most. What do you think? Do you remember this? This might be a new expression for you guys. So, Joanna says that Puff, I think, I'm not really sure if this is from the last or this one, but that's fine. Joanna, Monika, Anna is asking about compensation. Yes, we also can say that. It is a compensation, it is also, but let's come back to it. First, let me do this first. So, some of you say B, some of you say C. So, B is the correct answer. So, first and foremost, not for the most, no. Foremost as a one word. Okay, so B is the correct answer. First and foremost, I'd like to apologize to you for my behavior. Okay, so Anna is asking about compensation and damages. There is a difference, slight difference, I would say. Ja nie jestem do końca zapoznana ze wszystkimi słowami związanymi ze sprawami sądowymi, ale o ile się orientuję, to damages jakoś rozumiem różnicę w mojej głowie, ale nie potrafię tego powiedzieć po polsku, lub wytłumaczyć dokładnie, ale let me compensation versus damages. Let's see. Okay, so damages is a form of compensation. Compensation is a broader concept which encompasses, for example, money awarded under statutory schemes. On the other hand, damages are usually ordered by the court in actions for breach. Aha, okay. So in my head, those two are odszkodowanie. So in Polish, I think there is no difference between how you are awarded something. But here we have the fact that damages is something that you get in court most of the time, okay? And compensation is something that you don't necessarily need to get in a court. So for example, if you have an accident at work, your company can give you money, and this is compensation. This is not damages. Damages you would have in court. But you can also say that you have compensation in court as well. But most of the time you use it as, yeah, you would see it everywhere, right? Damages when we talk about a court case. I hope that is clear, but for those who don't understand, mamy compensation damages. Damages to jest coś, co przyznaje nam sąd, a compensation to jest coś, co możemy dostać od innych firm bez udziału sądu lub od jakiejś innej osoby. Tak, więc nie musimy iść do sądu, nie musimy mieć wyroku sądowego, możemy po prostu dostać jakieś odszkodowanie w jakiejkolwiek formie tak naprawdę. Możemy dostać nie tylko finansowej, możemy dostać bez wyroku sądowego. Damages jest coś, co jest w sądzie, natomiast znowu można użyć compensation, na przykład jeżeli mówimy o sądzie, ale częściej będziemy słyszeć damages, bo to jest trochę chyba nawet brzmi bardziej profesjonalnie. Okay, and the last one, he engaged. Rekompensata, Iwona says, maybe, someone who is an interpreter would probably say, rekompensata, I think maybe. Yeah, I think it's a good word. Okay, so he engaged something that was illegal and should be punished. He engaged at, in, or on. He engaged at, in, or on. What do you think is the correct answer? Let me know in the comments. That is the last question for today. So, Pav was first. Good. Okay, Pav. Anyone else? Marzena says something different. Joanna says also the same as Pav. So Pav and Joanna say that it is B. And this is the correct answer. He engaged in something that was illegal. So być zaangażowanym w coś, tak? Tutaj mówimy, że on się zaangażował w coś. Być może nie jest to do końca takie dokładne tłumaczenie. Chodzi o to, że on po prostu zaangażować to jest trochę dziwne słowo według mnie tutaj, jeżeli chodzi o to, ale on po prostu był w coś uwiązany. O, można tak też powiedzieć. He engaged in something that was illegal. Okay, so engaged, of course, we know as something that two people do before they get married. So they got engaged, we say also. Before a wedding, there's an engagement party. But here we have that someone was involved in something. Someone got involved in something illegal. So engaged can also be the same word here. The synonym. Okay, good. So, I hope you remembered a lot and you learned something today. It was not an easy class, but we had a lot of nice, fun vocabulary for us to go through, and I hope that the text about Mattel and Bratz or MGA was interesting to you. Jak zawsze, moi drodzy, przed końcem poproszę o serducha, kciuki w górę, podzielenie się informacją o tych live'ach lub o OK English. I również na Instagramie poproszę o to samo. Przede wszystkim polecenia na Waszych kontach, Waszym znajomym są dla nas na wagę złota. Więc bardzo poproszę o to, żebyście czas od czasu gdzieś tam o nas wspomnieli, będzie mi bardzo, bardzo miło. I oczywiście, jak zawsze, polecamy siebie i polecamy nasze treningi konwersacji, również dla firm, jeżeli pracujecie w firmach, które Wam sponsorują treningi angielskiego lub które mają na przykład poszukują firmy, która będzie im prowadzić takie treningi. My takie rzeczy robimy, mamy specjalne oferty dla firm, więc można się też również do nas zgłosić okenglish.eu i wystawiamy Wam faktury i wszystko i będziemy działać z Wami razem i z Waszą firmą, z Waszymi szefami lub jak macie własną działalność, również pamiętajcie, że możecie sobie wpisać lekcje angielskiego w koszta. Więc tutaj też warto z tego skorzystać i zrobić tak właśnie w ten sposób. Dobrze, moi drodzy, tutaj piszecie. Agnieszka sends hearts. I am sending my heart to you too. Marzena says thanks a lot for interesting, useful lesson. Have a great week. I hope it's gonna be a weekend, Marzena. It's only Monday. What weekend? First and foremost, Monica says yes, it's a very useful, interesting, also expression. Okay, I hope that you had fun with me, that you enjoyed this lesson. Marzena says week, yes, week. Unfortunately, it's not the weekend. We have a whole 5 days to go through. But I hope that you have a very nice week ahead and a very nice Monday. Mondays are not easy, I know, but I hope that you enjoy this time. And have a good one, have a good one and learn some English and just be nice and, just be energized thanks to this lesson. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. So first I will say bye to Instagram. Bye-bye and I hope you have a good one. See you next week at 9. And thank you. The time is passing so quickly. Yes. It is passing very quickly. That is true. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you very much for coming here and for taking this lesson and being with me. And I hope that we will see each other on Monday, next Monday at 9 o'clock as always. Have a good one. See ya. Bye bye.